The likes of Pep Guardiola, the likes of my personal favorite, Mikel Arteta, the likes of Xabi Alonso, and the likes of De La Fuente, making the right decision.
You're right.
Mbappe was almost just as wasteful. In my opinion.
Yeah, but he's not a winger. He played more of a role of a winger today than a proper striker. But he's not. Yeah, he's not a winger. He's Dembele. I'm not one for predictions, but Spain is going to win the World Cup. Hey, I'm not one for predictions, again, I say, but Spain is going to win the next World Cup. I have no doubt about it, because it's not even about finding whether they will find Nacho, the replacements for Nacho. The fact that Nacho is starting in the semi-final tells you a lot about Spain, as far as I'm concerned. He's not the most talented of centre-backs, even in Spain. He's starting because they have a coach that knows what he's doing and works. I hear that the guy said he's passed under 12 coaches, if not more, in his career, from his playing days to his coaching days. No, not 12, 18 or so coaches. Yeah. Some very high number of coaches, and that he has learned something from every one of them, right? So when you see the way that his team plays, you know that it's not about the parts. It's about the sum of the parts. It's about the way that he structures his team, that everyone in that team is productive. And they haven't even started to scratch the surface. I took a trip to Spain 2 summers ago, and I watched an under-19 female side in Spain train. And I could not believe the level of technical dexterity I saw. The way these girls handle the ball as if the ball was their closest friend. The way they never lost duels. If you see the way they got out of tight spaces just by passing, not even dribbling, So for a country that has offered.
Thank you. Hi, Blazer, good to see you, bro. Long time no see. And I hope you're getting by with this obstruction from the hurricane in Houston, and a lot of people are out of power.
Yes. It's been a while since I've been on here, a lot of life stuff. But yeah, that natural disaster is very crazy. We don't like Barrel at all, but we do like Lamine Yamal.
Exactly. That's why we're here. I was just telling you, boom, off air. Now that group that thank God for football, because he was hit. He's been out of power for a couple of days now. So thank God for the game of football. We will continue. Sorry, we lost you briefly there.
Sorry, I was interrupted by a call from Centerpoint Energy, telling us to be ready to be without power for the next several days. That's not good news at all. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. For a country, my brother, you're welcome. Ebenezer, good to see you.
Good to see you too, my man. Been a minute.
Yes. So for a country that has given us the best of coaches presently, the likes of Pep Guardiola, the likes of my personal favorite, Mikel Arteta, the likes of Xabi Alonso, and the likes of De La Fuente, who is their current coach, Unai Emery. I think that for now, Spain sits right at the top of the perch, everything football. And, I'm just grateful to witness what's going on. I think that everything about Spain as a country, as far as football is concerned, is very intentional. Nothing is a coincidence right now with what's happening, because they've laid the foundations, the talent is there, they've laid the right foundations to take football to as a top product, top export of the country, and we are all enjoying it. And all credit to them.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, so many years ago, when Pep was still in Barcelona, Spain as a country went into this philosophy that you're talking about now, and they compelled every coach in Spain to coach their teams on the same philosophy of this. That was when this plan out from the back started. So it was a compulsion that this is how you have to play. That's why you see. So it now depends on the quality that you have in your team. That's why you see Barcelona will go and play against Espanyol, and they play exactly the same way. They have to. Otherwise, I think I don't know how they be able to enforce that. So it's not a fluke, like you rightly said. It's not a mistake, not by mistake, not by accident. This is an intentional architecture by those who run football in that country. And if you also about VRC, it's also interesting to know that when you talk about Spain, there is also a small city in Spain where these men are from. These people you're talking about now, Alonso, Arteta, Pep Guardiola, all these people. There is a small city, I can't remember the name now, where these things are coming from. So,
so from the Basque, they're from the Basque region of Spain. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, yes,
Basque region.
So yeah, it's not an accident, and I know, like you rightly said, in 2 years' time, especially for us here, we are glad when the United States here, the World Cup is going to be here, so we'll probably be seeing these players in blood and flesh, you know. So before we continue, don't forget to hit the like button, please, on this one, and subscribe if you have not done so. If you are new to this channel, and as well, we have articles, especially on this hero, on our website, transittv.com. If you have not gone there, there's so much from tribute to Ronaldo and Pepe, to the combination of Pepe and Sergio Ramos, the dirtiest combo in world football. I'm asking 49 red cards together as a pair when they're playing for Spain. Ramos getting 243 yellow cards and Pepe 212. So we have those articles there on our website. Go there and they have some very fantastic read. My brother, let me hit you on this one. Let's start off with Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal. Personally, I am somebody that believe in like allowing players to grow, get to a certain level before. But what Lamine Yamal has done in this tournament, I didn't even realize how young Nico Williams is as well. These two boys, they have done bits for Spain. And yes, you're not going to overlook the solidity of people like Rodri in the midfield and the defensive aspect of the defense and their coach. But it looks like these two young men have carried this Spanish team on their shoulders, pushed them forward and dragged them to, motivated them to these finals. I don't know what you have made up of Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams.
I mean, recently I've been hearing a lot of the hype surrounding Nico Williams because he was so heavily linked to Arsenal. Lamine Yamal, he's been on the radar for more than a year. I mean, we've known of Nico Williams too. Just recently, his agenda has been pushed a little bit more. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't really take that agenda too seriously because I hadn't watched too much of Nico Williams. I've seen Lamine Yamal in action, but, he plays for Bilbao. I don't really watch too many of their games. And he's the younger brother of Inaki. So I thought, maybe he's not as good. But seeing how pivotal he is to Spain's wing play and just the chaos they cause on that end, especially given the fact that they're very similarly aged, they're good friends in real life.
Yeah, they are.
Exactly. It's phenomenal to see these two young men doing what they're doing for Spain, especially because they're also black. You're not used to seeing black players on a Spanish team, especially when you think about all the racism in La Liga. So just seeing these two young men play such a pivotal role for Spain, especially Yamal. I mean, he hasn't been able to strike gold with the goals until today. I mean, I've been seeing him how many times he's attempted. He had the highest shots attempted out of any player in the tournament. His assists were there, but it was just that last missing piece, and my word. But I will say, in my opinion, those two aren't even the most important Spanish player. Hands down, the best player on that Spanish team and the entire tournament for me is Dani Olmo. My God. That guy is crazy.
Yeah, most definitely. The reason why we are highlighting these two is because of their age and again, not just the technical quality. We have seen player like today we saw Dembele on the wing being wasteful. We've seen players who have those abilities, but other things that they do on the pitch kind of downplay what how you value them. These boys put their head down. This in terms of discipline, they are good. Defensively, they work for their teams, and they don't have anything attached. They just focus on the football. They get kicked. They get kicked. They stand up and get on with the business. Today, I saw both. Today was the longest I've seen them play in a game for Spain. And boy, until they came out, they were still defensively helping their teams. I don't know, in terms of remove the technical side of things, these boys, I think they are an example for any young professional coming up now to look out for, because he might have all the, just like Saka he has in us now and Kobe Meno, there is no flash to them. They just play football. I read you on one of our groups, we were talking about Mrs. Gino, you should learn how to play football and forget about all this other extra. I don't know what you make of that on these two boys.
Yes, that's just the difference. That's the difference between a Dembele and a Lamine. A difference between Vinicius Jr. and a Nico Williams. You said it all. These guys, all of them have probably the same level of talent, but some people know how to approach the game. Some people are very tactical in the way that they play, in the way that they use their skill for the good of the team. Vinicius does a lot for Brazil. But funny enough, I saw a quote today from Romario. Romario is not one to speak much. He's kept quiet all this while. He finally spoke and said that if a Vinicius misses a game for Brazil, something like that it shouldn't cause Brazil to lose. That he's not at that level. That the level, the player that you would say if he misses a game for Brazil, it will cause Brazil to lose would be Neymar Jr. So he's essentially saying that Vinicius hasn't gotten, to that level where he'll become such a key guy that when he's not there, Brazil cannot do much, or Brazil should win a game just because he's there.
I was surprised when people were calling for him to win Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, no, so landing to what you asked me, honestly, you hit it on the head. And so I watched Dembele today. I shook my head several times. Dembele, if Lamine were to be on the other side and had the opportunities that Dembele had today in space, it would have ended. It would have ended with 3 clear goals difference. Honestly, Dembele has everything. Pace, takes corners with both feet. Takes with both feet.
I'm telling you, bro.
Why not use those things and help your team? He's so terribly, frustratingly wasteful when he gets into good positions that I'm like, oh my God, no.
He's never been a prolific goal scorer, though. I will say he's never.
Even it's not even about.
Okay, I see it. Make quality pass or
making the right decision.
Make the right decision.
You're right. I honestly think
Mbappe
was almost just as wasteful.
In
my opinion.
Yeah, but he's not a winger. He played more of a role of a winger today than a proper striker. But he's not. Yeah, he's not a winger.
I'm going to Dembele on Mbappe. Yeah, we'll continue.
So yeah, finally, just you mentioned that the best player or the most important player for Spain is Olmo. I disagree. So this is the beauty of this Spanish team. The beauty of this Spanish team is that we can pick probably 5 different people can pick 5 different players. For me, it's a tussle between Fabian Ruiz and Rodrigo. Fabian Ruiz and Rodrigo are the most important and the most flawless players I've seen in this tournament so far. That Fabian Ruiz guy, please go again and watch, if possible, 1 or 2 of their games and see what he does for Spain.
Yeah, where I find it difficult to agree with you is not that these 2 players have not been immense for Spain, but they say that the most difficult thing to do in football is to score goals. What Rodri does, I know he's the best in the world, but he can get players all over the world that can drop in that position and they will do the same thing for us. And Spain will still win. But
that's not true. That's not true.
That's an interesting take.
Where do you get the people? Go get them. Let me see. Go get who.
They can play in that role, and Spain will still win. Can give you 3 or 4 names that can play in that role. I'm not taking it away from him. But what I'm talking about is what I'm saying is people like Danny Olmo, he can't really replace them. He has 6. I think he has how many goals now this tournament.
Danny Olmo wouldn't have been playing in this competition if Pedri hadn't gotten injured. He came in as a sub for Pedri. For goodness sake, he wasn't even starting for Spain.
Do you think Pedri would have had an influential performance as Danny Olmo?
That tells you his quality. It just a matter of
but that also tells you that he's dispensable.
Okay.
That also tells you that he's not even the best.
Okay, I have to disagree with both of you because Rodri is not dispensable. Rodri's not dispensable. There's a reason why he's undefeated for more than a year with club and country, right? But at the same time,
what I mean is
Danny Olmo's the reason why Spain have advanced in the round of 16 and the quarterfinals.
You can drop the Clarice there and Spain will still win. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to remove anything from Rodri. I'm saying with what they have all around the pitch, what he does for them, another person can do it and they still get there and they can still win. That's
okay,
my point.
I get what you're saying.
It's not that good. It's the best in the world. Everybody knows that. But Spain has so much quality on the
I disagree. The Clarice is no Rodri.
No, I'm not saying. Don't misquote me. I'm saying.
No, but you just said. No, you don't. I'm not misquoting you. You said you can remove him and put the Clarice.
Based on the quality that Spain has all around the pitch, if you put the Clarice there, they will still win. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's better than Rodri. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm also not saying he's better than Rodri. But I'm saying that he cannot replace and offer everything that Rodri offers. No chance.
Okay.
At least for now.
Our viewers see this one. Jumping on this one. Let us know what you feel. Who's your most important player for Spain in this tournament? Is Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, Danny Olmo, Rodri there, and there's one player I mentioned.
Fabian
Ruiz.
Fabian Ruiz.
Yes.
Please, if you can make it
or is it their coach?
If you can make it what's the record and stuff? Put it on your. Put it some kind of is it quiz or something? Let them just choose one person.
We'll do a poll.
A poll, yeah.
Yeah, look out for that poll in the community. Yeah, we'll drop that. Let me ask you. I know me and Ogun spoke about it a couple of weeks days ago when Spain played. Cucurella, I don't know what to say about this guy. This is a player that for a whole season, Chelsea players were hounding on this guy, for 2 seasons now, that it was a mistake of a buy for the club. I don't know what have you made about him. And this, for me personally, this goes to show that sometimes the system or environment you find yourself can make you flourish or, even whitewash your career, your talent.
100%. I mean, for starters, he's playing for Chelsea, right? And Chelsea have gone through a tumultuous 2 years, changing ownership, multiple coaches. The only player that has really thrived at Chelsea ever since they've kind of gone on a nosedive is, sorry, can you see me? I just got a low power notification. The only player that's thrived, in my opinion, is Cole Palmer. I mean, there are other players that play decently, but for the most part, a lot of Chelsea's players have flopped. I mean, look at Kai Havertz going from Chelsea to Arsenal and then thriving in our system. Maybe not at first, but eventually turning. And guess who the coach is? A Spanish coach, right?
Exactly.
So when you look at Cucurella and the Spanish system, it's surprising because we've seen him for so long at Chelsea now that it's kind of become stereotypical to say that he's a bad player, which according to his performances and how he looks for Chelsea, isn't the most outlandish thing to say. But seeing him play in this Spanish setup, this system, it shows 1,000% that there is a player in Cucurella for Chelsea. They have a player within him. They just need to mold the system, not around him, but obviously something that's more complementary to his skill set or offload him. I mean, those are the two things, right? Because when you see him thriving in this Spanish setup, now there are teams that are also looking at Cucurella like, okay, we didn't know that he could thrive in maybe this type of setup, right? And maybe Chelsea could be thinking, okay, we're going to take advantage and offload him this summer. Exactly. Or you look to, go to the drawing board. Now you have Enzo Maresca here coming from Leicester. We'll see what he can do with Cucurella. I mean, but it seems like he's
and
jump-started his career.
Cast your mind back. Pep was offering 60 million for him then. And Chelsea did what they usually do. They come in and they hijack deals. If you remember, it was nothing that anyone to sign him. which means, I don't know, what you have to say about that.
I agree. Yes. For City to have been looking to sign him would have told you the quality. I mean, we watched this guy under Graham Potter. We saw what he was doing at Brighton. We saw the level he was playing at. Moving, he would own that whole left flank, played as a wing back, go back, play as full back, and he was very productive. And so we're seeing the same player we saw at Brighton in this tournament.
Exactly.
With the way he's playing.
That's the right way to do it.
Right. So you're spot on. You're spot on with what you said.
To France. I'm going to start with Mbappe. And it looked like maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, the consensus was that after Ronaldo and Messi, he was going to be the obvious heir apparent to winning Ballon d'Ors and ruling the world. But from what I've seen in this tournament, both from him and from the area of young talents coming up, it's looking like Mbappe has a lot to do if he wants to rule, be at that. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I'll let you go first, Eugene. I spoke first last time.
Okay, so thank you. I don't think so. I think he's at the Cristiano Ronaldo level talent.
I agree.
Yeah, I think so. And because and the reason I say that is France has a problem. Either it's a coaching problem or it's a talent ID and opportunity problem, right? The current coach seems to, he's still inviting Olivier Giroud, still going to the Euros with Olivier Giroud, right? But if you go to France, you can count at least two other forward strikers that if given the chance.
Yeah, just 1 second. Something was said today that in 10 years, Antoine Griezmann, this is the first time he will not start a competitive game for France. That tells you what you're saying.
Thank you. So, and I'm saying all this because these other guys always have a competent support system that they build a team around them that brings out the best in them, right? Mbappe seems to be carrying all of France, all their stuff on his shoulders as far as forward is concerned. The back line is set. Of course, they have enough talents, and all those talents are being used. But the ones in the front are not being used to complement Mbappe, such that it makes it a little bit easier for him to thrive. This tournament, I just saw everything built around Mbappe. Everybody was expecting him to be a miracle worker. Unfortunately for him, they broke his nose in the second game. And of course, he had to recover from that. So France really needs to go back to the table. The talents are flowing, like I was telling Reggie before we started the show. Watch out for the Olympic team. Watch out for the Olympic team and see what's going on. Even Lacazette would have complemented this Mbappe better in this tournament
than Giroud,
with the form that he's on.
Exactly.
Than having a Giroud that you will not use, right? If you see what Lacazette played in the game they just played against Paraguay, friendly game, man, I couldn't believe it was Lacazette. He lost weight, shaved his head, looking like a young, up-and-coming striker, playing so well. So, yeah, I think it's just a selection and coaching issue with France.
Okay, so do you agree that going to Real Madrid was going to raise up? Because like what you mentioned here, I think that is the same problem that Mbappe is facing in PSG. It's almost personally carrying the PSG team. So, but whereas in Real Madrid, he's going to have more people to that have to stand up and support what he's going to do.
Exactly. So for starters, I 100% agree with Eugene. I think one is a coaching issue because look at how France played the moment Mbappe got injured. I mean, today was the first time they scored a goal from open play and also conceded a goal from open play, which, like you said, credit to their back line, but also what the hell is going on with their front, with their forwards. They're not firing at all. And I think Didier Deschamps really played it conservatively this tournament because Mbappe, star player, got injured. And I was seeing today Mbappe playing without his mask because, I'm imagining, obviously Victor Osimhen, he's very used to playing with a mask, but you have something that's on your face that's, affecting your perception. That's affecting
every angles too.
Exactly. Your perception, your peripheral. So having a mask on can be a huge factor that can affect your game. Obviously, he had it off for today, which I noticed he played better, but his finishing just wasn't there. And that 85th minute opportunity, that's going to haunt him for a while, because I don't see why he didn't finish that, in my opinion. But obviously, it's more than just Mbappe, because everybody has their off games. I mean, Ronaldo has a horrible record at the World Cup and the Euros, and he's considered the second best player of all time, right? So these international tournaments are different, especially when Mbappe already has a World Cup at the age of 18. Now he's 24. He still has time to come back to the next Euros. The France team is too stacked. And I agree that, bringing Olivier Giroud at his age is, why. But sometimes you need that experience. And I wouldn't necessarily say that was a bad pick. It's more so the style and how they played.